coverage. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 8, read. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Shoot.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the draw, here's Michel. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Down. 10 logo. Mike 54. Mike 54. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man on the crossing route. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in these playoffs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. It's caught by OBJ. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
On second down, it's Tomlinson. Well, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there of 22. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Charlie.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he is into end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 13 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go!
And here now the offense heading back out there. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? Well, on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
Becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, you know, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He completes it to Henry. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Here we go, set, 30 base. I'm coming. Get it.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Come on, set, 18, Gator. Line 54. Big grip.
2nd and 15. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. It's caught. Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Michel. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now third down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
We got this.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Complete, Hunter Henry with the grab. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, Michelle. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, you know, what are we going to do, put a man on him. The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Back to throw. That one's complete to Tomlinson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Tomlinson. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. That's sort of a prime example, is it not, of selling out defensively on 4th and short?
It certainly is, because what you're doing defensively is saying you're going to stop them right there at the line of scrimmage or make a play on the other side of the...
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
It's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
On the return, Hester. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Right there.
2nd and 4. Over the middle, he'll get it to Harrison. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
He finds his target, Beckham. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The offense is going to stay out there. They've converted twice, failed once so far on 4th down. Let's see what's in store here. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, heck, maybe you throw one up 50+. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Come on, set. 30 base.
Here we go, D. Here I go.
Get it.
On second down now, Tomlinson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 64 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Clear.
2nd and 10. That's out to his running back, Michelle. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good ball. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Here we go.
A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Now that's 2 big catches that he's had on this drive alone.
And I can hear it right now. If they give up a third to him, whoever does that, go stand on the other sideline. You're persona non grata on our team at that point.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They stay on the ground. Tomlinson and power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football.
Here we go, here we go. 90, Wolf.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Go.
Yeah, they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a 1st down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and 6.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Looking to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A gain of 5, but not enough, leads to a 4th and goal. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They begin with Michelle on the ground. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And it's Michelle once again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. gun now on third down. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 47 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
57. Hey! Watch the screen.
They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Get it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. Able to push his way through. Still going. They can't stop him. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back to throw now on first down. And caught by Henry. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. Complete. It's Henry. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He completes it to Henry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Watch the slant.
They'll look to throw again. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On second down, Michelle, and he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
Don't get nervous.
And he's got room. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. I don't even know why this team showed up. Now.
They'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind him, try to put... And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Zadarius Smith, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check. 90.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll drop the throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the point, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
Let's get this all day.
So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip.